Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Leo energy, and like usual we're going to do 2 rows. The top row's going to be high vibe Leo energy, kind of what we think of wanting to do in our life when we have hope and faith and belief in our dreams and we are dealing with our fears and our insecurities that hold us back, willing to see the truth of things, but sometimes we don't want to see the truth of things. So the bottom row is our more worldly, shadowy nature. Sometimes we don't want to see the truth and we want to stay in denial of the truth because we don't want to take the action that we'd have to take if we did see the truth. So some people could be dealing with that within themselves. We all tap into Leo energy. Am I willing to reveal the truth, deal with the truth, be bold and brave and confident? Or am I tempted by my ego, my fear, my insecurity to keep being in denial of the truth? So some people could be struggling within themselves. There's going to be other people in the world that are moving forward in life right now. They've come into some insight, understanding, healed, grew, mature, just view life differently, ready to live life differently. So listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story and your Leo energy, and listen to your intuition where some other people could be at in your life. The reason for the reading for the top row is be kind. So, well, it is kind of hard to tell, but I think that's a female figure and a bird on their finger and in a winter scenery. And the reason for, or the reading that came out with it is dig deeper, the howl, elevate the word, and lessons from my son. And this looks like a boy figure dressed up in a costume. So the only reason I point that out is because the feminine figures can kind of represent how we think and how we feel, and the masculine type energies can represent how we present ourselves in the world, the action that we take in the world. The dig deeper, this is a picture of like a tree trunk, and you know, we all have the foundations that we grew up in and the families and environments that we grew up in, communities, countries. You know, it kind of shapes kind of maybe how we perceive ourselves and how we perceive the world. And sometimes we don't know that that influences maybe as much of our decisions as we might think. And sometimes there's things buried underneath the surface of those type of foundations and philosophies of life that sometimes we don't really like to look at. And then the tree can just kind of represent our more worldly nature and foundation. And the moon in the Howl card can talk about listening to our intuition, you know, that there is more to life than just what the world tries to tell us. There's more underneath the surface of who we are and how we present ourselves in the world than what we present maybe to the world. And that's okay. Not everybody's got to know all our business. But in general, it would be in our worldly nature, listening to our intuition, elevate the word. With the balloons and being air signs, it kind of makes me think of air sign energy, which is like Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Being balanced within ourselves, believing in our dreams, not giving up on our dreams, having hope and faith and belief in our dreams, listening to our intuition to guide our worldly nature forward, having that hope and faith and belief. And then maybe when our intuition tells us it's the right time to take action in that hopeful, believing nature, we do take that action. Maybe kind of looking at life as an adventure to be lived. And, you know, this is us. The feminine figures can represent how we think and how we feel. Having that hopeful, believing nature, connecting in with nature, connecting in with our more natural state. We do have our worldly nature, but we also have our creative, inspired, intuitive nature. Our intuition was given to us as a gift to help us navigate in this world. There's more that we can work with in the world than just the things of the world. There is creativity, you know, life-giving energy that wants to help us manifest our dreams into reality. And if we align with that energy within ourselves, we can manifest our dreams into reality. So that could be what some people are doing that are aligning with their more hopeful, believing nature. Now, the reason for the reading in the bottom row is splintered oneness. So we can either be in scattered energy or we're in unified energy. Love is what helps unify us. You know, in tarot, we talk about the 4 suits of the deck: the heart, the mind, the creative nature, spiritual nature, passionate nature, and our worldly nature. Sometimes, you know, we're still learning a lot of lessons in life and we're not really unified by love. Maybe haven't learned to love ourselves or respect ourselves or appreciate all the different aspects of ourselves. And sometimes we can let one aspect or another kind of run our life, like, I love them. And we can kind of run our life off into the ditch because we're only kind of giving more appreciation and valuing kind of more one aspect of ourself over the others. And so then we're kind of more in scattered energy. Some people, the aspect that they could give precedent to could be their mind. I have to be practical and logical. I have to say, defend myself at all costs. I don't want to listen to my heart. I don't want to listen to my intuition. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to live from my mind. And some people, maybe in their Sagittarius energy or fire sign energy, kind of give in to their more passionate nature, and that's what they think is the most important thing. And so, you know, we've all got lessons to learn in life. As we learn these lessons in life, we become more unified, that I have to take into account my intuitive, loving, emotional nature, because that's important. And I also need to take in my more practical, grounded nature, and is trying to find a balance between the two so that we can work. We all have these things of the world that we want to accomplish, but are we going to do it in a way that respects the fact that we do have like an emotional nature, a spiritual nature, a conscience, you know? Or are we going to kind of stay scattered, and whatever that day drives and motivate us is what drives and motivates us? And maybe some of you dealt with some people that really haven't dug very deep within themselves to be more balanced and connected within themselves, and they might seem like they're kind of scattered and all over the place. One day they're friendly and kind, and the next day they're not, you know, loving, distant. One day seem more mature and grounded. Another day they seem very immature and ungrounded. One day not being bossy and controlling. Another day being bossy and controlling. You know, so splintered oneness. And the reading that came out for them is the unknowable world, which this shows like the sand and the water. And I've been kind of interpreting that as being balanced between our worldly nature and our more emotional nature, creative nature, intuitive nature. You know, it's nice to feel at peace within yourself and balance within yourself, that yes, I can be part of the world, but it doesn't mean I have to completely disconnect from my emotional nature. Or I can be in the world and about myself, but I can also love other people. And some people aren't very balanced within themselves, and either they're really caught up in their emotions or in their head or in their kind of more immature, indulgent nature, or their egoic nature, or they're making the things of the world too important, and they're just tipped out of balance. And then we have a card not showing itself, which is the heart of you. Some people aren't connected in with their own loving nature, and they could reject love, you know, because we have this dualistic nature. We live in a world of duality, and some people prefer not to connect in, to be unbalanced, and they prefer to maybe align with their more worldly focus. It's not about love. It's about maybe me indulging myself in whatever makes me happy at any given moment in time, or making their life all about the world or ego or image. And then we have the believe in art, but this picture shows a tree with a fruit hanging from it, but it looks like it hasn't been used in a long time, you know? We've all been given gifts. We all can bear fruit. We can create things and be an energy that's supportive and encouraging to us and supportive and encouraging to others. And some people reject that. They've been given the gifts of their emotional nature, their creative nature, their inspired nature. And some people could just think it's confusing and they just don't want to deal with it. So it's kind of like a gift given to them that they choose not to embrace. And then we have follow me. And sometimes people who are very imbalanced, who aren't really aligned with love, who maybe don't have much to offer other people or themselves, could want other people to follow them. And this picture going into the woods is kind of like, let's just go get lost in the world. Kind of like, let's just blend in with the world. Let's not, use our unique gifts, talents, skills, and interests that we have. Because high vibe Leo would be about loving yourself and believing in yourself to shine your authentic light, be authentically yourself in the world. And some people reject that because they want to blend in with the crowd, and shadowy energy can be about conforming to the world. Let's make our life not about standing out from the crowd or our unique talent, skills, or interests. Let's just conform to the world and make our life all about the world, and reject these parts of ourself that are our own unique gifts, talents, skills, and interests. Let's not share them with the world. Let's not invest in those. Because a lot of people can conform to the world because they don't want, they're very codependent on the world. Could be very afraid of people judging them. And so it's to hide their unique talent, skills, and interests, or some of them are out of balance. Some of them aren't very loving. Some of them aren't very giving and nurturing. And they just want to be in relationships with people and have people kind of keep indulging them in their more shadowy ways of being. And sometimes when other people get in relationships with people like that, they could see that they're maybe more emotionally shallow or superficial with the dig deeper. And they listen to their intuition, and they kind of think maybe about their dreams. And if they had a dream of being like a more deep, meaningful, emotionally balanced, loving, supportive, encouraging relationships, they could realize, I don't think my dream is going to come into reality with these people who don't seem to be building a foundation on love within themselves. They might build their life more on fear or insecurity or codependency or ego. And that's when the high vibe people are willing to take some action to listen to their intuition. And we can all be in codependent energy, because high vibe energy is about becoming more independent, to shine your own light, to believe in yourself. And that's when some people are going to start taking flight because they're ready to not be part of the crowd or part of the herd, and they're going to spread their wings and look at life from a higher perspective and pursue their dreams. So let's do a real quick of what's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Leo energy that they might not see coming up. The Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups because of the King of Pentacles. So the high vibe people are getting balanced within themselves. Again, the feminine figures can represent how we think and how we feel, and then the kings can represent how we present ourselves in the world and the type of action that we take. The people that have done this work within themselves to kind of do the inner work, to maybe deal with some of their fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs, and then to look at life from a higher perspective and have hope and faith and belief in their dreams, and they're willing to take action kind of based on these lessons that they've learned in life. Those people have done this inner work emotionally to see through the illusion, work through their own emotional confusion. And I think those people are going to take action in the world based on the lessons that they've learned. And they feel they're more emotionally stable and grounded and healed and mature than they used to be in the past. Because when they're holding the one pentacle, it means that they learn lessons in life. And they're no longer caught up in whatever used to manipulate them, because shadowy energy can be about the things that manipulate us. Our fears, our insecurities, being caught up in the world, thinking the only worth and value we have is based on what other people think of us, or what we wear, or what we drive, or what we look like. And they realize, I determine my worth and value. And if I'm a nurturing, loving, balanced, supportive, encouraging person with my friends and family and relationships and workplace, that's what truly makes me valuable. It isn't the superficial shit. It isn't what I wear. It isn't what I drive. It isn't how much money I make. What makes me valuable is I'm an emotionally mature, loving person who maintains balance within myself, so I don't tip out of balance and treat people in bossy, controlling, manipulative, immature ways. I've learned lessons in life. I conduct myself in a way that I'm proud of. And I think as you do that work within yourself, you want to be in relationships with other people who are like that. And there is going to be other people in the world who see that about you, that want to work with you, go into business with you, hire you, be in friendships with you, be in romantic relationships with you, marry you, And I think you're taking action in truth and love, and we reap what we sow. And part of it is we could put in all that work and effort into someone who's not aligned with that same truth, motivated by those things. And then we can wonder, why is this not working out? It's like, because we've all got to be on the same page. To try to create a loving, emotionally mature, healed relationship with someone who isn't kind of operating from that foundation, we need to see the truth of it, that they maybe haven't done the inner work. They could ignore listening to their intuition. They don't look at life from a higher perspective. They maybe don't let their more hopeful, believing inner child nature out to play in the world, and they just have a lot of life lessons to learn. And when we see the truth of it, we wish them peace. But my dreams can't come into reality with you if you're not doing the work within yourself to grow and mature yourself and heal. So what's coming up for the people in a more shadowy energy that they might not see coming up? We have the King of Swords because of the Six of Wands. Some shadowy people, the truth sets us free. Because they don't ever maybe get balance within themselves, because the King of Swords is Libra energy, represented by the scales of justice. They maybe never get balance within themselves and get out of their ego or their fear or their more bossy, controlling nature or something, and maybe don't listen to their intuition. And so since they don't do it, they didn't think other people would do it. But some of the high vibe people in people's lives, they did the work to get balance within themselves. And they're speaking their truth, and they're taking action in truth, and they're cutting the things out of their life that they need to cut out that aren't aligned with truth and fairness and love and justice and character and integrity. And those people have gotten out of their ego about it. We've all dealt with people who were cold or unbalanced or selfish or greedy or bossy and controlling. And the high vibe people saw the truth of it. They saw who is harnessing shadowy Leo energy in the Six of Wands. Who is trying to manipulate me, control me, be bossy, be controlling, wanting to be indulged in their shadowy ways of being. And who is harnessing high vibe Leo energy. Who's being loving and warm and nurturing and authentic and supportive and encouraging and authentic. And they saw the difference between the two. And the high vibe people are standing in their truth, and they're not taking it personally that some people were kind of shadowy. That's a reflection of who those people are. And odds are they'll keep acting that way. It doesn't really matter who's in their life. So the high vibe people didn't stay in their ego about it. I see that you haven't learned how to play nicely with people. I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. And some of them could be really shocked because since they never free themselves from their fears and their insecurities and their more codependent nature, they didn't think some of the high vibe people in their life would either, but they did. Another thing they might not see coming is they could either have more people coming into their life that are just and fair and truthful and honest and warm and loving, And the same scenario could play out again if they're not willing to follow some people who seem to choose love and look at life from a higher perspective. If they refuse again, and they, in their kind of pride and ego, no, 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 this is the way to live life. No, don't go over there. Don't love yourself. Don't believe in yourself. Don't look at life from a higher perspective. Make your life like this. Well, it could be another loving person who leaves their life. On the other hand, they could get someone who comes in their life who kind of might be on the same page as them, who might also, in shadowy Libra and shadowy Leo, might be someone who likes to live more from their mind than their heart, who likes to make their life more about ego and image or indulgence or things like that. And that would really be someone that they're kind of more on the same page with, you know, who's maybe motivated and inspired by the same things they are. It just might not be based on love, with the heart of you being turned rejected. But that would be a more balanced relationship for them. What's unjust and unfair is for people who are more worldly focused, ego focused, immature, bossy, controlling, or whatever, to try to present themselves as being a high vibe person and get in a relationship with a high vibe person. But that's not really the truth of who they are. And then they try to get the high vibe people to quit giving up what they believe in to make their life more about what they believe in. And it's like, it's kind of hard if you have hope and faith and belief and love to settle for less than you deserve. But, you know, some people are willing to do that. And they might have someone who's willing to move forward with them in a relationship victory, because that's what the Six of Wands is about. It just might not be based on love. It might be based on, I also don't want to do the inner work. I also don't want to look at life from a higher perspective. I also don't let my more hopeful, believing inner child nature out to play in the world. It could get hurt. So we should live life like this and play it safe and make our life more about these things of the world that we think will make us happy because we're afraid of love. Might be two people who aren't very unified by love within themselves. So there you go, Leo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.